Il est aux affaires dans son pays depuis 1986. Il est présent dans la sous-région des Grands Lacs et on entend parler de lui à tout moment. En ce moment, il a dans son pays l'essentiel des réfugiés arrivés du Soudan du Sud. Nous recevons aujourd'hui dans ce magazine le président de la République d'Ouganda, Yoweri Museveni. Bonjour, Monsieur le Président.
Bonjour, bonjour.
La première question que j'ai envie de poser est celle de dire, quand vous regardez l'état de, on va dire, de la paix et de la sécurité en Afrique, est-ce que vous pensez que cela a avancé ou que cela a reculé?
Well, if you go back to 1970, at that time, there was more war or more potential war than now. At that time, there was war in Mozambique against the Portuguese. There was war in Angola. There was war in Namibia, in Southwest Africa. There was a potential conflict in South Africa. Of course, there were other wars in Sudan, in Eritrea, and Biafra, Nigeria. Now, many of those countries in Southern Africa are now peaceful. The ones where there's no peace are areas like South Sudan, Congo, Libya, Mali, Nigeria. So I think, generally speaking, there's now more peace than war if you compare with 1970, if you go to 1970.
On a entendu les présidents africains à l'Union africaine en 2013 dire qu'on devait mettre un terme aux guerres en 2020. On a pris un objectif en disant plus de coups de feu en Afrique en 2020. On est en 2017. Est-ce qu'on n'a pas là la preuve qu'il y aura toujours des guerres, que les chefs d'État ont échoué?
Well, as I said in my intervention here in the meeting, when we are talking about African problems, we should not talk about just one or two issues. As we have said in our statement, we have a number of bottlenecks that must be dealt with at the same time, more or less, if we are going to have peace, but also have development and transformation. So I think if we take that line, we can bring peace. Maybe not in 3 years, but maybe in 4 or 5 years, we can bring peace in the whole continent. Because one of the problems is ideological. Why should people believe in tribal sectarianism? What use is it? How about religious sectarianism? Because these are the two causes of conflict. Religion or tribe. If we understand that they are wrong, then we do other things, deal with other bottlenecks, we shall have peace in the Africa. But we must understand and isolate and highlight.
On sait que la plupart de ces guerres, de l'idéologie, comme vous dites, le sectarisme et le tribalisme, sont souvent utilisés par les leaders africains. Est-ce qu'il y a un moyen, on va dire, de retenir ces leaders africains, d'empêcher que désormais ils utilisent la tribu comme un outil, comme une arme pour rester au pouvoir?
Where we need to expose this ideology, that it is wrong and against the interests of the people. And it has no logic. So we need to discredit it. It has not been discredited enough, that ideology.
Alors, l'Ouganda est très présent dans les pays voisins. Au Soudan du Sud, en Somalie, l'Ouganda aujourd'hui reçoit beaucoup de réfugiés arrivant du Soudan du Sud et de Somalie aussi. Est-ce que vous intervenez pour ramener la paix dans ce pays-là? Parce que sinon vous serez débordés.
But we work under the framework of IGAD, under the framework of the Great Lakes, together with others. But we can't work alone on this. We must work with others. But these refugees who come to Uganda, these are our people. We don't mind. They can.
But we don't have enough of resources to.
The international community brings resources. For us, we give them land, space where to stay. But of course, they suffer, but we manage.
On a écouté il y a quelques semaines qu'il y a eu des incursions de rebelles, des rebelles du M23 qui sont entrés à RDC. J'ai envie de vous poser la question de savoir, est-ce que vous continuez d'intervenir militairement dans ce pays où, il y a quelques années, vous avez aidé à installer le président Laurent Désiré Kabila?
That's not true. I never heard of that.
So there's no rebel coming from Uganda to DRC?
No, it's not true. There are a lot of problems in Eastern Congo, but they are there, they are internal.
What do you think about the problem in Congo, the problem of Joseph Kabila, because you helped his father to arrive at the power? What are you doing with Joseph Kabila now?
Yes, we assisted Laurent Kabila to come to power with Rwanda. Rwanda especially are the ones who were in the forefront. But that was because Mobutu was backing Interahamwe. It was not because we wanted to interfere in the affairs of Congo. It was in order to defend Rwanda against the Interahamwe. That's why we support.
There were no minerals affairs on that time?
Minerals?
Yes.
Minerals for what?
In DRC.
Looking for minerals?
Yes.
Oh, that is a lot of rubbish which you pick from the Europeans. There are a lot of minerals in Uganda. Why I have not mined the minerals in Uganda. Why should I go to look for the ones in Congo? All the minerals, if you don't know the geology of Africa, all the minerals in Congo are found in Uganda and in Tanzania. It's the same geology. So why should I leave the minerals in Uganda and go to look for the ones in Congo? That's the malignment. Those are malignments by groups in the Western countries who think that Africans don't work for principles, they only work for money. It is actually a racist position. Supporting Kabila was not because we were looking for minerals. It was because of Rwanda. We were defending Rwanda. We have now sent our troops to Somalia. What are we looking for in Somalia? We don't even have a border with Somalia. So for us, we never work for profit. We only work for principles, for Africa.
Aujourd'hui, vous êtes très préoccupé par le Sud-Soudan. On en a parlé ici. Ici à Aïda, du Sud-Soudan, autour d'une grande réunion au Tana Forum. Qu'est-ce qui peut être fait concrètement pour mettre fin à la guerre au Soudan du Sud?
Here in the forum, it's exchange of ideas, but the negotiation is going on under IGAD. So that's where the solution will come from IGAD. IGAD is the one with the mandate. Here is just exchange of ideas, brainstorming.
Quand on avance, c'est de plus en plus compliqué au Soudan du Sud. Est-ce que vous allez faire appel encore à une puissance étrangère où les Africains peuvent résoudre?
Well, but there were countries which had a lot of problems. Uganda had a lot of problems, but it was stabilized. Liberia, Sierra Leone. There are so many examples where countries can be in problem but also recover. Even South Africa. South Africa was in a very big problem.
Il y a quelque temps, vous avez découvert chez vous de grandes réserves de pétrole, d'importantes réserves de pétrole. On a vu les grandes compagnies arriver, Total et autres. est-ce que vous ne risquez pas de commettre les mêmes erreurs que les autres pays qui ont eu du pétrole, que les grandes nations africaines qui ont obtenu du pétrole? Comment vous vous organisez pour exploiter votre pétrole?
No, we cannot do that. We cannot do that because our ideology is totally different. We say the resources are for the population, and that oil will be, the money from oil will not even be put in the normal budget. It will be put on a special account to deal with infrastructure and some few strategic areas, and then invest that money so that it produces more money. There's no way the money of Uganda will be misused. No way.
Est-ce que vous avez les ressources humaines pour pouvoir, on va dire, éviter les écueils, les ennuis qu'ont eu les autres pays avec leur pétrole?
Yes, yeah, that's what we started with. In 1986, Shell BP wanted to look for oil in Uganda. I checked in the ministries whether there were people who knew anything about oil. There was nobody. So I refused to discuss with the Shell BP and told them to go away and sent our people to do training first. They came back in 1989. They are the ones who looked for the oil. It was not the oil companies, it was our people. Because we trained them first. In 1986, we looked for young people with Bachelor of Chemistry, Bachelor of Geology, Bachelor of Physics, and then we sent them to do masters in petroleum studies. We sent many of them to Imperial College London, to the University of Aberdeen, to India. Now when they came back, they are the ones who discovered that oil. We only brought in the companies to drill because we didn't have the money for drilling. That's when the companies came in, but they came in to look for oil where we were already sure.
But how can you explain that the company couldn't see the petrol during a long time and your people see the petrol?
The British looked for the petroleum from 1920 to 1956 when they gave up. But I think technology had improved. So when we trained our people and we gave them equipment, then they were able to see the oil.
Cela veut dire que ce n'était pas volontaire de la part des autres de ne pas trouver.
I think that time the technology was not so advanced because they looked for the petroleum from 1920 up to 1956 when they wrote in the file that there was no petroleum. Because the petroleum of Uganda was seeping through the soil. You could see it on the surface. You could see it in, we call it seepage. Seepage meaning seeping out. But they concluded that maybe petroleum was there, but evaporated, disappeared. But when our people started looking for the petroleum in 1989, they found it. And then we called the oil companies to come and drill, to confirm.
Vous avez fait 5 mandats. Aujourd'hui, vous atteignez, selon les termes de la Constitution, vous faites votre dernier mandat. Est-ce que vous allez partir? Est-ce que vous allez laisser le pouvoir? Et certains disent que vous voulez laisser le pouvoir à votre fils.
But how can I don't have power to give to anybody. I can give my cows. I have my cows. I can give my cows to people. But power belongs to the people. The people are the ones with the power. So anybody who wants power must go and ask them. They are the ones to elect him, not me. Me, I have only one vote.
Mais dans d'autres pays, on a vu les chefs s'organiser pour passer le pouvoir.
That's not our way. For us, we are freedom fighters. We are not people looking for power. Power. Maybe what I should tell you is that in 1971, I was a young civil servant in the government, but I resigned from the government to go and fight. So I left government to fight, 1971. 1980, again, I left normal life to go and fight. So for us, we don't think about position. We think about mission. Because positions, we abandon them to go and fight for freedom.
Alors, on va terminer cet entretien, mais je m'en voudrais de terminer sans évoquer le Burundi où vous intervenez. Et réellement, vous êtes l'un des principaux médiateurs du Burundi. Est-ce qu'on avance vers une solution au Burundi? Est-ce que vous pensez qu'on va sortir de la crise au Burundi?
The solution for Burundi is negotiations. President Mkapa is the facilitator. So we are going to have an East African summit. He will brief us how far he has gone. But negotiations is the only way for them. They have no other way, because otherwise their country would be in problems. But let's wait for the summit and hear what President Mkapa briefs us.
Okay, you are always coming here to Tana Forum. Why Tana Forum? Do you think it is the place to negotiate now, to think about peace and security?
This is not to negotiate. Here it is not to negotiate. Here it is to think, to exchange, to brainstorm. It's good. It's a good forum to exchange ideas with academicians, business people, political leaders. Africa needs a think tank, and this is one of them.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Merci beaucoup.
Cet entretien est à présent terminé. Merci de nous avoir suivis et restez à l'écoute de nos programmes. À très vite.